Hi, welcome to FintechTalks, Talks, and my name is Sanjib Kalita. I'm excited that you joined us again today. My guest today is Len Covello. I'm so excited to have Len join us today. Len, would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. It's a pleasure to be here, Sanjib. My name is Len Covello. I'm the CTO of Engage People. We are a technology provider in the loyalty and reward space, and it's great to be on the show. Thank you.
How did you get to this point? Like, can you talk a little bit about your background?
Sure. So I am the non-poster child for all the parents out there. I left the chance to go into university and just started playing around with technology early on. And it it kind of just stumbled into loyalty. I don't think anyone wakes up in the morning in university or high school and says, I want to get into the loyalty space. We started building professional service solutions for a legacy player in the loyalty world and immediately just identified so many opportunities to modernize that industry. And one thing led to another, and Engage was essentially born. We ended up acquiring that legacy loyalty provider. And we moved on from there. So that's kind of how I got there. It wasn't a straight line, but I'm glad that it worked out this way.
What about technology initially, like excited you?
I think it honestly goes back to my dad. We got a VIC-20 as a Christmas present when we were kids, and most people, I know my kids don't, but this was back when you used an actual tape to load a game, and it just interested me, and it was just something to understand, how cool you could do things in this new medium, right? Like we were bringing things onto a screen. We were able to start to bring in a UI and a UX that was pretty cool, and just the functionality out of it. So I continued to play with it going through school. Started building websites more for fun. It was this really great space where the internet was the Wild West. So, you could spend a late night, early morning on your PC and build something that the world could see. So that's what interested me. I think it was really the completion of a project, and getting through things that may have seemed difficult and seeing that final result.
So I definitely remember the VIC-20. I actually, one of my favorite Christmas presents I ever got was, or it wasn't even a Christmas present. My dad brought home the Commodore 64, and like I just started shouting, and I lost my voice because I was like so excited. I'm guessing you probably had maybe you were a bit more measured, but like you probably were, your heart rate was definitely getting going fast when you got the VIC-20.
I will agree to that, and I won't share my emotional reaction. It'd probably embarrass me, but it was a pretty cool thing to get at the time. And as you're probably aware, not a lot of people got these things, right? So a
Yeah.
testament to our parents that they saw the future and allowed us to get those.
So I've also spent a fair amount of time in loyalty as well. Like, I worked at a big bank and at Citibank, and I helped worked on some of the research for launching like the Thank You Network, and then worked on evaluated a lot of loyalty programs. And what about loyalty excited you, and why did you go into loyalty?
It's just something that everyone interacts with every day. So loyalty, you know, I'm in a bunch of programs. I'm that sucker for the frequent flyer programs, and it's super important to me to get on that plane early, get to my seat, possibly get an upgrade. So it's something I see the value in. I think it's pretty clear that it works, and just being in that space, having that opportunity to work with large organizations, such as yourself at Citi, to have the appropriate budget to see something through, and to really dream and to build some cool things has just always kept me hooked in. It's just been an industry that I've enjoyed.
What is unique about Engage People in terms of how it looks at the loyalty space?
So we're a technology and a usability company first. So I argue and I tell my team, and I don't mean in an argumentative way, but I tell people anyone can build anything. It's at the end of the day, we've all got access to some pretty incredible, coding languages, some frameworks, and really anyone can build anything. I think what makes Engage different is quite honestly the people. We've got people that are looking to build things with a goal that we think will be utilized. We care a lot about an elegant experience. So everything we build, we kind of aim for this invisible mindset. So if our technology does what it's supposed to do, it should be second nature. It shouldn't be anyone's face. And because that belief exists from our CEO right across the organization, we really see ourselves as different in what we provide. We provide a lot of expertise to our clients and a lot of know-how. So they look to us from a solution perspective as well, which is a great place to be. We love being kind of at the ground floor on the whiteboard.
Mm.
And that's what differentiates us from some of our competitors out there and others in the space. We're not a company that provides strategy. So building a program from scratch isn't our world, but we can take that strategy and provide the tools to execute it.
I haven't been an active loyalty builder in many years now, but like one technology challenge was like how do you connect to the places that consumers are at? For example, back then it might have been like point of sale systems, or it might be even like where consumers are interacting with their screens, or and like how is that still a challenge, or is that sort of a solved problem, like from a technology perspective?
The technology is there. So the ability to solve that problem exists. Whether people are ready to adopt that, whether they've been early adopters or not, is where we're living right now.
Mm,
So you hit the nail on the head. Is how did you get to the POS? And it's for two reasons. It's for earn and it's for burn. And a lot of people have leveraged the payment rails for a long time to get a transaction and be able to score that transaction. And there's even been some redemption options where you can issue a statement credit. A big differentiator for us is we have built, and it's in market and continue to build, a network for pay with points.
mm,
So whether you're at POS, buying gas at BP, or you're on Amazon redeeming at checkout, it's our network in the background that surfaces up someone's points and makes them available in real time. So it's not a statement credit, it's not a gift card. It's truly at the moment, in the moment loyalty, which is the greatest level of personalization in our eyes.
that is quite amazing. And like what's sort of been the reaction from your B2B partners, or even end consumers?
It's been incredible. For consumers, adoption has really surpassed our expectations and our partners' expectations. So we're seeing basket sizes increase 30 to 40%. We're
Oh
seeing
wow.
repeat redemptions or repeat purchases going up to 4 to 5 times a year for a customer beyond what they were typically spending. So
Yeah.
so it's been pretty incredible. Just the utility of pay with points has gone from people in the 35% range back in a survey we conducted in 2023,
Mm.
up to almost 80% in our latest survey in 2025. So
Wow.
it's been amazing. It really has. And it's out there, so the world knows. So it was difficult on day one. We were kind of in this chicken and egg scenario of,
Mm.
would a retailer let us get into their checkout flow? And we, better than anyone else, they used to guard that like
Yeah.
the world for abandonment rates.
Yeah.
Um, and then it was, do you get a loyalty program large enough, like a program like City Thank You? And we were able to create that relationship with some fairly large programs, and from there it's just snowballed now. So it's an expected behavior from customers. So I believe every program at some point in the near future will allow those points to be used as part of e-commerce or in store.
And are there any particular use cases or even types of retailers that might be able to leverage this more than others?
It works everywhere because it's viewed as a discount. So
Mm,
again, we're both from this world, so
mm,
it was considered free money to a customer. A customer looks at that loyalty currency as kind of this side wallet, or that found $20 when you put on a jacket you haven't used for a while.
mm,
So it can be used to make a full purchase. So someone could be saving up to make a complete purchase, and it can be as simple as getting a free coffee on the way into the office, using your points for that. So it really applies everywhere, and consumer behavior is different from consumer to consumer. So we
yeah,
know that, especially the younger generation, is they're just looking for that ability to take what they've earned, and it could have been as quick as 15 minutes ago, and
yeah.
they want that to translate into value. So it really actually applies everywhere.
And you mentioned that, for as an example, basket sizes have increased 30 to 40%, which is great from a value perspective. Have there been any, lifts in terms of frequency or usage, that you can share from Pay by Points?
Yeah, so it brings card front of wallet. So that's why our financial institution programs like that. It's run through the credit card today. So we're expanding that, but it's that connection happens from the credit card when you tap, swipe it, or enter it on on an e-commerce website. So that card gets utilization more. So that's the value proposition for the bank. As far as repeat visits, it's anywhere from 3 to 5, depending on the retailers we're working with. So online retailers see a bit more frequency, but in
Mm.
store, we're seeing high utilization as well.
Imagine that there were a lot of blood and sweat went into making this into a reality.
Yes, it was, we'll call it an elegant hack on day one. So we found different ways to get onto the payment rails in full transparency, and we did that, and that got the attention of some of the big players. And now we're living in a world where, you know, security is key and speed is key. So if you think of the payment rails and the speed, the SLAs that you have to keep up, so that's a lot of the work we do, and that's a lot of the blood and sweat is to have the infrastructure globally to support that. So we don't go down. We've obviously handled that from a deployment perspective
Yeah.
and a system build perspective, but just the speed, it's, you know, how do you do things faster, quicker, make those decisions in split
Yeah.
seconds?
Yeah.
And we all know there's not so nice people out there looking to commit fraud, and loyalty is a big place where that happens. So it's monitoring that behavior as well.
You've been a technology leader for quite a while now. Like how is being a leader in technology now different than when you first started?
For me, it's specific to my role, and that as our organization grew, it's become managing people, and really the best way I can do that is share the experiences I've gone through. As far as the world's change is, in hindsight, we look back and it was a bit of the Wild West as far as coding practices, as far as security, encryption, things of that nature. So, you know, it was needed. There is a lot of compliance requirements and processes that need to be put in place. And at the time when you're doing that, as you know, you're leading teams and they'll question some of the decisions that have to be made or some of the solutions that have to be put in place. So I think that's changed, just educating people that there's a purpose to this. Nobody wants to be on the front page of the newspaper alongside a brand. So I'd say that's been a big change.
Really?
Roles have expanded as well. The disciplines have changed a lot. So if you think about people in DevOps and the importance of those roles, they've expanded considerably as well. So I'd say there's a lot of different pieces along the value chain where has expanded from day one when we had people doing many, many things.
What is different about what you'll tell me now versus, if I were a dev joining your team, let's say when you first started, like, yeah, 20, a while ago.
Um, a lot. I would say we're a lot more diligent as an organization. We've got a lot of great people that oversee the processes that are put in place, and it's not process to stifle development or creativity, but we've lived through the world and through the projects to understand the benefits of that process early on. So I'd say when I'm speaking to people now, it's really understanding a mindset of someone that can solve a problem, and then the tools that they use are somewhat irrelevant.
Mm.
But if you've got someone that's got a solution mindset, I think they'll be successful. And then really in those interviews is talking to them about the value of doing things in a specific way when it comes around process,
Mm.
which is very different to early on. It was, how quickly and how fast can you ship code? How many lines can you write?
And I also noticed that you use the word process, whereas I used process, and which I think is a giveaway of your geography. You're obviously up in Toronto. Can you talk to me a little bit about what the tech scene is like up in Toronto?
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's amazing and loyalty specific. So we've got clients globally. Specifically, we have a client in Australia, and they're working with 3 different partners out of Toronto. And we get asked that question when we're on with them or when we're visiting. And Toronto's this hotbed, and I don't think it's a secret anymore, but it's always been a hotbed for technology. I've got a feeling it's got something to do with the cold weather. Nobody wants to be outside in days like today with snow, so we bury ourselves behind a screen. But it's an incredible space, and I love seeing the investment from organizations. So we've got a TechTO scene, we've got a Mars Discovery District, which is just fabulous. There's opportunities for people here in Toronto to do things. So it's grown quite a bit. I'm really proud to have been a small part of watching this grow. So I invite anyone who's thinking about starting up somewhere. This is a great place to do it.
So, Len, like, what's kept you up in Toronto for your entire life? It seems like a do you have any desire to go anywhere else?
I absolutely do. It's a great question. Family at this point is a big part of that. I've got three young boys, or not so young anymore. So my oldest son has moved on. He's actually in the UK studying abroad. Um, that came out of this. So I have never really left Toronto, short of probably a small vacation growing up, and being in this space, being in this industry has allowed me to travel the world. There's some incredible places out there. I see myself at some point being somewhere else. I think that that courage to go now exists just based on being able to travel the world, and being able to see that regardless of what city, country you're in, it's kind of a very open world these days.
Mm,
So I'm here for family. Probably is the biggest reason, and a little bit of stability,
yeah.
but not a bad place to be.
I would agree with that. And having been to Toronto several times, really love the city. And well, I guess we'll both be traveling to FinTech Meetup in Las Vegas. Can you talk to me a little bit about what your FinTech Meetup experience was like, and what you got out of it?
Yeah, it's such a great setup for a show, and it was so different the first time that our organization went compared to other shows we've been to. It's very purpose driven. You come to FinTech Meetup, and you've got the ability to meet with people. So the whole setup of those sessions initially of who you're talking to, and kind of call it this business dating, allows you to have very to the point conversations with people that you know you need to speak to about specific topics. So it's not the cold introduction. It's not walking booth to booth and seeing if you might find that person, or the LinkedIn connections before getting to a meeting. So I'd say from a value perspective, I don't know that there's a better show out there to attend to really get something out of it.
Who are the types of companies, or what types of meetings did you have at FinTech Meetup?
So for us, there's different partners we're always looking to engage with. So different people along the payment stream, and we're continue to learn about that as much as we're already in this space. So organizations that we think can help either solve a problem, or we can bring value to them. So it isn't always a selfish play as to, what can we get out of somebody, but is can we help a solution that's in place today? So those companies exist. There's always opportunity with clients there, but knowing their role, knowing their title, and giving them, a little bit about what we do helps set up those meetings. So when we are sitting across from them, we can be on point, and we know that there's some level of interest there. So it really stretches from partners on the payment side, and the retailers who we want to integrate with to allow points to be accepted, all the way to the FIs or other loyalty programs looking to have their points utilized.
And any advice that you give to someone considering attending FinTech Meetup?
Yeah, first piece would be go. I think it's a tremendous value as far as going there. And I would say be direct with what I just mentioned, is be purpose driven. When you're going there, have specific things you're looking to achieve out of the meeting that you set up with different parties. Know the value you're bringing. It's very much not a fluff type of conference, and I say that with all due respect. It's a conference where if you got some innovation, you need to explain what the value is for that innovation. So that would be my advice: is go there with a purpose. Know that these sessions are relatively quick. So you want to get that point across. You want to make sure you're sharing what the value is you bring, and chances are you'll be successful.
What's ahead for loyalty that we're not thinking about, but we should be thinking about?
Uh, I like where the purchase path is going with AI. So it's something I'm watching, and I think as these AI engines move from kind of decision making or helping people with recommendations all the way to making that purchase happen, I see loyalty ingesting itself or embedding itself into that process as well, both on the earn side and on the burn side. So that's probably a little bit out there and a little more advanced, but I think loyalty has been about personalization for a number of years. And what better way to have a personalized offer to a customer than to be interacting with them in a place where they're asking questions, and they're now getting very personalized responses to them. So I see that being a big thing for loyalty. On top of that, it's just programs continue to evolve. So they are very much less transactional programs and really about value and what value can I bring to a consumer. And it may be a pay to play loyalty program or just a free to play loyalty program, but customers are demanding value. They're getting that value at a certain area. So you need to keep up with that. And I see loyalty really continuing to grow.
That sounds like an exciting future to look forward to. Well, Len, thank you for sharing your personal experiences with loyalty and just in general with us today. Really enjoyed talking to you, Len.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.